Hello, I'm Dela,
I'm Paula.
Hi, I'm Colleen.
and welcome back to another episode of The Butterfly Effect. We're so happy to be here again with you tonight. Hey, girls,
Well,
Hello.
hi.
how's it going?
It's going very well. How are you guys?
Excellent. Colleen is in the middle of moving provinces. We're not going to see you anytime soon. It's kind of a sad story.
Well, we'll see each other online for sure.
Yes. So tonight we have quite a show for you. It is going to be fantastic. We want to invite you to please come along on this journey the next hour. Give us your comments, give us your questions. Your input is truly appreciated. And so this is a topic that is going to hit home just like every single episode we've had so far. We always talk about things that every single person can relate to. So tonight we are going to discuss passion versus purpose. It's good topic, girls. Good topic. As always, we want to invite you to please give us your comments, ask questions, give us a like, and press that share button to share this talk with your friends and your loved ones. So, anything before we start? Any reiteration?
I think I'm good. I'm excited to get this going.
Woohoo! You,
Yes,
Paula?
me too. I'm looking forward, and I'm looking forward for all our audience to participate. It's a passionate topic.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Okay, well, I want to welcome everybody on the show tonight, everybody who's watching. So this is how we usually start. So we're just going to start the same way as always, which is we're going to take the topic and we're going to cut it in half. We're going to tackle the first half, and then we're going to move on to the second half. So Miss Colleen is our definition giver. She looked this up in the dictionary. Always, this is how we. Miss Colleen, go ahead and give us the definition as stated in the dictionary for the word passion.
Passion. Well, I don't know about dictionary. I Googled it. So, okay. So passion, strong and barely controllable emotion.
Okay, so do you want to explain that a little bit?
So when I was reading up on about passion, it's all about the emotion, the excitement, like what excites you, what you're enthusiastic about. It was all about emotion. That's the key word when it comes to passion, is that it's an emotional word.
But it's a strong emotion. That's what I'm feeling. It's
uncontrollable. Yes.
Yes, and that's what when we say we're passionate about something, or like we're not just liking it, we're
excited.
It. Yes. Okay, good. All right. So from here, then, what we're going to do next is we're going to approach the lovely panels and panel of ladies and gentlemen, whoever is watching our show. We want to ask you, what does it mean to you? What does the word passion mean to you personally in your own life? If you want to give examples of what your passions are, please go ahead and do that and write it in the comment section for us. We're going to start with you, Colleen.
Thank you.
Mean to you?
So I don't know if I froze or you froze, Della. So, but hopefully it wasn't me. So passion. What am I? Okay. So we'll see how that goes. So, what does passion mean to me? Because it's an emotional thing. It's about anything that gets you excited, right? So what gets me excited? So in my work life, one of the things that I say I'm passionate about is bringing joy and peace and confidence back into women's lives. That's my passion. And so that's something that gets me excited, gets me motivated to some degree, but it just mostly it gets me excited and up and going.
Do you have more
How
than
about you, Paula?
Colleen?
Did you
Sorry.
read my notes, Colleen? You read my notes.
Oh,
Like this.
You've done something there with technology. I know it. I know it. You can just, yeah. Okay, so me, passion. Okay, never mind. So to me, I say this. That which gives you energy and warms your heart is what passion is, according to me. Now, it comes from a very passionate person. I consider myself extremely passionate. And what I mean by doing or by saying this is that I do things from my heart most often than not. And you may ask, so how can you know that you're passionate? So I say I know it because I feel it in my heart. I do it with love and caring, everything I do, or most of the things that I do. And it makes me feel really, really good. And I know that may right now sound like selfish, but it makes me really feel good. So for example, when I do something for someone and that someone turns his tears or her tears into a laughter and acceptance and frees herself or himself from a baggage that may tear them apart from today's joy, for example. You know what? Call me selfish. I'm okay with it because if my selfishness makes your life a little bit better, it has a positive impact on another person, I think it's worth it. So I over the years, I became empowered by my passion of trying to depict what emotions are, exploring them, understanding them, accepting them as part of who I am. And what I've learned is that once I no longer became, or I was no longer the how do you say this? The master. I was no longer of the. How do you say it? Like I wanted to say that the emotions were the master of my life, and now I by understanding, by exploring them, by depicting them, I now became the master of my emotions.
You're in control of your emotions.
Exactly. So I realized that that's the only way for me personally to manifest the life worth living for me and enjoy it according to my terms, not the society's terms, not my family terms. You know, does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so that's good. As for me, my passion is when I do something that makes me happy. It's kind of like what you said, Paula, and what you said, Colleen. I do have many passions, though. I don't know about you, but I have a lot of different passions. And it's the things that I do that bring life, the real life into my journey. And so, and you guys know, because I talk about this all the time, I took the passion test to find out, to pinpoint my top 5 passions. And I'm quite happy that I did that because it made it very clear. So here's my question to you. How do you know what your passions are?
I think
So
that
you want to take
an
a second?
indicator of a passion.
I want to pose this question to the audience too, if that's okay.
Oh yes, absolutely.
So any questions that we're asking ourselves, each other, please feel free to give us your comments because you have your passions.
Honestly, I'd rather hear from the audience
I
than
know.
to hear from me.
Yeah, I know. Because it's true, like we all have them, right? We all have passions. Maybe we haven't discovered them. Do you agree? That maybe some of us haven't pinpointed our passions. And we will give tools today as to how you can, go ahead and pinpoint those passions. But it's really, really important. Do you not think that it's really important to know?
I think that passion is important because it's that energizer, right? And I think, Paula, you might have mentioned it. It might have been in when we were talking earlier, but that a passion gives you that excitement and that energy to pop up and get it, you know, into something. So I think it is really important to help move you forward. What do you think, Paula?
Well, I go back to what I said earlier. My say regarding passion is that it gives you energy 100%, like you guys are saying, but it comes from your heart. You feel that warmth, you know? So let's take, for example, people that believe they are not passionate, okay? Because there are such people. I've met few. And they may say maybe, you know what, it's not in my genes, you know, I wasn't raised that way. I wasn't taught how to be passionate. And maybe they just simply live life just as they were told to live it, right? Doing things because they were supposed to do them. They don't have any passion, they say, right? I think in those cases, I think I'm going to give a little differentiation here, so kind of answers hopefully the questions. I think in these instances, we confuse passion with affection and the ability to love without restrictions, which may, in a way, is true, but not entirely. Because according to me, passion is simply what you love doing, what you enjoy doing. So let's say, okay, you might be under that category of people that say, I don't have passions. Like I don't enjoy doing anything. I don't love doing anything. And I've had friends throughout the years that have mentioned those very words. And I remember saying that, you know, perhaps in this very moment, you may not realize it. You may be in your low, let's say. You may even be in that depressed state, which, by the way, I believe normally occurs in most of us from time to time. The trick is not to stay there.
Yeah.
And now the truth is, even in those low states of mind, our passion, believe it or not, shines through. We just don't know it, so we don't recognize it. So let's take the example, for example, people loving to watch TV and say, I'm not passionate. I'm just, you know, I go to work, I wake up, I go to work, I come home, I eat, I watch TV, I go to sleep and repeat. So now question comes, okay, so what do you watch on TV? Let's start there. Let's say maybe you watch TV a lot and you could observe yourself even there. You can find your passion there by looking at what you're looking at. For example, let's say you may be watching, I don't know, cooking channels. There are people that are fascinated by cooking channels. And let's say you stare at that cooking channel for hours, yet you say you don't have a passion. Now, there must be something in that cooking class that you watch, that you love to watch. If you explore that, if you perhaps ask yourself, why am I so hooked on these cooking channels? Why do I like this? And that could be anything. That could be love to read or love to write or love to dance or love to jump up and down, love to hug people. Doesn't matter what it is, but ask yourself why, right? Because let's now perhaps not go into the why, because, you know, that's what I do for living, right? Because it's, yes, career, passion, purpose, they all interconnected. But first, let's just find out what do you love doing and why? And you know what happens when you do that? You're not just finding your passion, you will find your purpose in that passion.
You know, you just made me look at my husband's love for TV in a totally different way. Because I really feel now he's totally passionate about watching, I don't know, like the news, for example. Like he's passionate about politics. He's passionate about what's going on in the world. He's passionate about his action movies, or, you know, he's really passionate about music. So, you know, these are the stuff that we can look at. And it's so interesting that you just mentioned that, because, okay, I'll tell you this. Mm-hmm. To me, if you want to find your passion, ask yourself, what could you do more of if time was not an issue?
That's a good one.
I like that.
Right?
Yes.
It's good, right? Okay. So we have a comment coming in. Okay, so this is Jarek. Thank you. He says, obviously, passion is powerful, but is it a feeling or an emotion?
Ooh.
I'm curious what the difference for Jarek between a feeling and an emotion. What's
Okay, yes, Jarek. What is to you? What is the what's the difference? That's a really good question. What is the feeling between? What's the feeling? What's the feeling between? What's the difference between a feeling or an emotion?
because I often use those words interchangeably,
Mhm.
right? So
Okay.
I'm curious what that means specifically to him. So
Okay. So I'm thinking passion is a strong emotion.
Mm.
That's what I think.
so
I can't say if it's a strong feeling. I feel like passion would be a strong emotion. And if you ask me why, I can't tell you why.
I was going to ask, what's the difference between a feeling and an emotion? I think they are like this.
Hmm.
But I see the distinction because the way you worded it, Della, I see it. So Jarek's agreeing with Jarek's agreeing with us, saying that maybe they're the same. But now that you guys are talking about it, I'm agreeing with you guys, saying maybe they're different.
This is
I
really
love that we
good.
can change each other's
I
minds.
know. Because I mean, I think it's just all right. So we always talk about this, that our thoughts influence our thoughts make our feelings, and our
Yeah.
feelings make our actions, our behavior.
Okay,
Okay?
I agree with that.
We
Yeah.
don't say our thoughts make our emotions.
No, they.
I feel like emotions are more of a subconscious.
Oh,
Almost like innate, but thoughts create feelings, and
Yes.
feelings create the emotion, and the emotion is associated with that which we remember from what we have experienced. That's how I see it.
Thank you. See what you did, Jarek? I hope you're happy.
oh, I think we have a Google definition on
Okay,
this.
let's see. Ahmed Shah, welcome, Ahmed Shah. Google's a fundamental difference between feelings and emotions is that feelings are experienced consciously, while emotions manifest either consciously or subconsciously. Thank you. Some people may spend years or even a lifetime not understanding the depth of their emotions.
Yeah.
Thank
That
you.
is brilliant. Thank you.
Thank you. And it's that's really interesting. It's very interesting. Jarek says, usually I can feel on my own, but an emotion is something I get from an interaction with a person or a photo that stirs memories.
Oh, okay.
I like it.
So yeah, it's that's good.
Thank you for that distinction. I always just thought of them as the same, but yes, I love that they're different.
Thank you. Thank you. And Majan says, Google says emotions are associated with bodily reactions. So what, like, what are we talking about here?
Your
Like
heart racing,
heart rate racing, right? And like
yeah,
maybe perspiration.
blushing, blushing.
Yes. Like you're getting hot, right? Yes. Oh my gosh, this is really interesting. Okay, good.
So
Yeah.
I believe passion is emotion. You
Yes.
put your whole heart into it, and you just experience it. There are no boundaries. There is no limits to it. It's just, you know.
Yes. So this is great. Perhaps then this is how we can tell if we're passionate about something, is if it's creating, if it's evoking those emotions in us, then, right? So we've got another amateur, amateur.
Definitely. He's doing our Googling for us.
Yeah, you know, you don't need Google, amateur. You're Google.
Yeah.
Passion is about emotions, the motivation, and what makes us feel good. In other words, do what you love. Purpose is the reason or the why behind what we do, primarily for others. In other words, do what contributes. Where passion can be all over the place, wild and exciting, purpose is much more focused.
Yeah.
And so, thank you for that, amateur.
So
Yes,
he might have stolen my definition.
yes, I think so. Yes, we are going to get to the second part of our topic very soon. But before we go there, I wanted to ask you, what are some of your passions? And did we discuss that already? We didn't get there.
No, we talked a little bit about that, but
Yeah.
you didn't share anything that you're passionate about. I don't recall.
Who, me?
Yeah,
Yes,
you.
Okay. Yeah, you. Who, me? So I want to ask also our audience, what are some things you're passionate about? And so that'll be interesting. Okay, so what are some passions of mine? Obviously, doing this. This is I'm passionate about this, right? I have a passion about interviewing and being on camera and being the star. I like that. I like it. I love it. That's a passion. I love having fun, like passion. Again, my passion is having fun. If you take the fun out of something, then for me, that's not worth doing. I love learning. That's again another passion. Everything I do, it has to teach me something. I love impacting other people's lives with positivity. That's another passion. I tried to make money part of my passion. It didn't make it up there, unfortunately. I tried really hard, but it doesn't stir up emotions. I'm not there. Um, Another passion is being totally in control of my time. That's another passion. So these are the things that stir up emotions inside of me, and they make me feel nice and warm and fuzzy, and that's right. And so, okay, so remember how I said, ask yourself the question, what would you do more of if you had more time, if time was not an issue? Okay, I have another question that you could add to that is, what would you do if for the next 365 days, what could you do without getting paid for? What could you do that you would get no payment for the next 365 days, and you would be okay with that? And I think that's another good question.
That is a really good question. There's all kinds of things going through my mind.
Right? Okay, so I'm done. So, next. And people, please, our beautiful audience, our viewers, like your input is so valuable to us. Please share with us, what are some of your passions, and how do you know? Colleen?
You want me to share some of my passions?
Yes, of course.
Okay. So I guess some of the things, like I said, you and I are very much alike in that you were mentioning your passions, and I'm like, that's one of mine. That's helping other people. The show thing is not a passion of mine. I love doing it because of you two and because of our audience. Like, that's what I love. I love learning and I love teaching. So I like helping people be better today than they were yesterday, right? So I get excited about that. I get excited about sharing information. I get excited about spending time with my family. Like, that is, when you talk about what do you want more of? I want to spend more time with my family. That's what I'm passionate about. That's what I get excited and happy about. So those are some of the things that are key to me and a big part of who I am. So what about you, Paula?
Well, I think I'm your clone.
Is that why we get along so well?
So well, but I will add there, I absolutely love to dance, any type of dance.
Yeah.
particularly Argentine tango lately. I just I melt into that music for some reason, and I 100% became a health advocate. I love to teach people about options they have when it comes to their own health.
Mhm.
So I will 100%, Dela, to answer some of the questions you had. The next 365 days, if I could do it without charging money, I will do it 100% until I die. I will not want a penny. That's how much I love doing what I'm doing.
Yeah.
That's
And like yourself, because I come from a background of a professional ballerina, I love performing, and not just dancing, performing.
okay. She doesn't mean I'm a ballerina. I'm not.
just to be clear.
Just clarifying that I'm not a ballerina. I think you meant being the star. Right? Oh my God, that's funny. So Jarek says, we all share a passion for life. And I would agree with that.
100%, I agree with that.
Yes, yes. I wanted to ask you both, is the quality okay right now? Like, we're not lagging or anything like that? We're not freezing right now, are we?
A couple of times we've there's been some slow, but I think it's good. I think we're fine.
All right, good. Because that has become a normal question to ask.
Yes.
Are we lagging?
Perhaps those that are watching can tell us, because sometimes within ourselves we are so into what we're saying.
Yes.
I don't see the actual screen. I don't even look at the screen. I'm like, I see through it. So,
well, as long as the message is getting across, we're all good, right? That's what's important.
Yeah. There's a delay in I don't know if you're aware of this, but there's also a delay in the time from when we're actually speaking till it shows up on Facebook. So I think that it takes care of some of those lags for us. So all good. Thanks, Derek.
Yes, that's good. Thank you so much. Okay. All right. Yes. Amit. Thank you, Amit Sean. The 3 butterflies. So sweet. I love that. Thank you so much. This is beautiful. Okay. All right. So are we ready to move on to the second half of
Sure.
And then maybe we can revisit. Okay. Colleen, even though we already have a definition, could you give us your definition for the word purpose?
Sure.
Thank you.
So purpose, the reason for which something is done or created or for which it exists. Purpose. So like Ahmed Shah said earlier, it's your why. Why do you do the things you do? And it's always other centered, right? Your purpose is not, and I agreed, you mentioned it earlier, Paula, how your passion can be selfish. And I think that that's one of the distinctions between the two, is that passion is more about self-centered emotions, right? The feelings that you're getting, while purpose is about what you're providing to others. So I probably went longer than you needed me to.
No, this is good. This is good. And I know we talked about this earlier, and I kind of gave you what I thought. And right now I just changed my mind, because as you're talking, I'm like, but we need them both. It's like, even if passion is selfish, you still need passion in order for you to get to your purpose. And I'll explain. Like, imagine if a teacher whose purpose is to teach,
okay,
but she's not passionate about her job.
Yes.
How much of an influence? Pardon?
How dry that teaching is.
Yeah. So how effective can the teacher be without being passionate about it?
That's a really good example.
So I can see that in so many different areas of our lives. So even though we say passions are selfish, you still need them if you're going to fulfill that purpose. Okay, so Paula, your definition of purpose, please.
Well, just to tie back a bit with what you're saying with your example of a teacher, I think we are being taught how to search for jobs that pays well. We are not being taught how to search for whom we are as people, as a person, or what we love doing. And I think that makes a big difference. Wow. So me and purpose, I remember until not long ago, which is literally beginning of this year, I actually, when I heard the word purpose, to me had like this scary weight on it. And I'm like, wow, how can I possibly figure my purpose out? Like, life purpose? I kind of, like I didn't really know what my purpose was. And when the pandemic started, I owned this book for about maybe a year in my home, was given by a dear friend whose heart is huge. The actual book, it's written by a pastor, and it's called The Purpose-Driven Life. And though not everyone might be a Christian, some of whomever is listening and us here may not even be a believer in Jesus or in God, but I'm going to mention two of the things that this book mentioned only because I believe it ties into what we're discussing. And so let me just dive into it. So basically, he talks about, his name is Rick Warren, and he talks about five major purposes that we as humans have. And one of them that I would like to bring up today is loving one another. And I believe in Romans, I think 12, I don't remember exactly what it says. We belong to each other and each of us needs all of the others. And another purpose, it says, we are here to serve others. And there's somewhere in Peter in the Bible says that God has given each one of us a specific abilities. And he says, be sure to use those abilities to serve others and passing on to others all of these God's, kind blessings. So I believe that ties into what Ahmed was saying about the purpose as well. So for me personally, if I haven't, do I have to now?
She froze. Oh, I'm sorry, Paula.
Oh, no, we didn't ask you to do that, Paul. You froze. Okay, so I'm gonna.
Maybe we can go to Jarek's comment.
Yeah. Yes, I saw that. So Jarek says, I believe I am guided by purpose, but driven by passion. And it's so true, right? This is good wording. Jarek says, I really like the way you word things. That's really good. Paula's frozen, but look at her. She's
still stunning.
My mouth.
Oh, there you go. Hello. So one of the things that when I was taking notes about purpose and passion, I said chasing your purpose will make you more successful. I think you need to have that, but focus, because you're focusing on your why. You have a goal. You're goal oriented. And passion, absolutely, I agree with Jarek, is that's what gives you the power, the energy to get going. I think, but you can't stay at a high level of passion for an extended period of time because it would be too exhausting. So I think that the passion comes in spurts, and then you're using it towards your purpose. Does that make sense?
I'd never thought about that, but it makes total sense. Yeah. Look at what Ahmed Shah just mentioned. And I mentioned that in another interview today. According to Gallup survey of 2017, only 13% of the people worldwide are passionate about what they do. It's a sad story.
That is a really, really low number.
Yes. Yes.
That is sad. I agree with you.
Yes. And so for whoever is watching this, and you have found, passion as something you're passionate about, that you're using as work, right? Then you're really lucky. You're amongst 13%.
Yeah.
Of the
Wow.
right? Isn't that crazy? Majan says, I'm passionate about spending time with my friends. So yeah, so you could do that, right? If you had more time, this is something you would do. If you could do that for the next 365 days and not get paid for it, you would do that.
Yeah.
Right? Jeff says he agrees with Colleen. Ahmed Shah says, purpose for me is what you do, and passion is how you do it.
Yeah, I like that distinction. Yeah.
Yeah. Did you hear that, Paula?
Oh, I think she's frozen again. Again, stunning. Like that's.
I know, it's crazy. She just shows up in a pose, and then she leaves, and she comes back. It's awesome. So purpose is what you do, and passion is how you do it. So what is your purpose, Miss Colleen?
So my purpose, when I was reading up on purpose, it's kind of like your mission statement, right? So when I think about my purpose, if I had to choose one purpose for my life, I would choose that it is my mission or my purpose to leave people better and happier and more confident than how I found them. That would be my mission, is to leave the world or people, individuals, because I'm a people. It seems that whenever I think about what I'm excited about, it's about relationships and people. So leaving people better than how I found them. So that would be my mission, my purpose.
Okay, so I have another question then in that case. Okay. Do you think that your passions should be aligned with your purpose?
Ooh. Yes. I think that in order for you to reach your purpose, then you have to be passionate. Your passions have to help you get to that purpose. Does that make sense?
Yes, I'm trying to wrap my head around that.
Okay. And it looks like Paula froze again.
Paula, are you with us?
She came back and then froze.
Oh shoot. I don't know if you can hear us, Paula, but maybe you can come back on your cell phone.
There we go.
Paula, can you hear us?
Now I can. I mean, what's happening? I'm plugged into the router. I have no idea.
Okay, no problem. I was saying, if do you think that your purpose and your passions have to be aligned?
I will say that they don't have to be aligned, but they are interconnected.
Okay, how do you mean?
So we talked about earlier that passion is it's something you absolutely love doing, and you do it with such a joy, with such an excitement. If your purpose does not bring you energy, it depletes you of energy. It sucks the life out of you. It's not your purpose, really, is it? So that's how I think it's interconnected.
That's interesting.
Yeah,
that's interesting. So your Paula was saying, I guess, then, in a sense, that your purpose has to be something that drives you. Paula, I'm so sorry. We completely lost you.
Yeah, okay. Where did you lose me?
We lost you at where you said your purpose is interconnected with your passions, because if you're not really driven by your
love. Okay, here it is.
Oh shoot. Paul, maybe can you use your cell phone to to come back on?
If you're not really, I can try. Okay, can you hear me now?
Yeah, but you keep cutting. So
Okay, so let me give you an example. If you're not in love with the purpose of your whatever it is that you choose as a purpose, because I strongly believe that throughout our lifetime, the purpose is in every little thing we do on daily basis. It's not most often we think, no, that's not my purpose. My purpose has to be bigger than that. But in every circumstance, in every occasion, in every time that we have different stages in life. I think the best example is motherhood. When a woman gets pregnant and gives birth to a baby, when she ends up with this baby in her arms, in that very instant, what happens to her? She becomes, her purpose in life in that very moment becomes what? To become the best mom she can ever possibly can be, right? But that doesn't mean she's now gonna be, that's the only purpose for the entire of her lifespan.
right.
For a short period until the child is more independent, until the child grows and becomes an adult and so on, it becomes the primary focus on her life. Everything else steps down in her priority list and it's the second, the third, the fourth, the fifth, whatever, right? I believe that's how, so the purpose becomes that which you love. That's why it's your purpose, because you absolutely love doing it. It makes you, it gives you the feeling about loving to do what you choose to do. It's what motivates you to wake up in the morning, to get up and stand up and no matter what, move mountains. You know, like,
Yeah.
To me, that's how they are interconnected. You can't have a purpose and say, okay, that's my purpose. I'm going, I'm loving it, and I'm successful. Well, perhaps you could. I don't know. Maybe there are people that don't put passion and love into what they do. They just do it, as I said earlier, because they thought that that's what they're supposed to do. They don't explore their emotions, their feelings, their purposes, their work. They don't even think about thinking of those things.
Oh my God, Amacha just literally said what was going on in my head because we both have the same teacher, right, Mayor Ezra? So okay, we're gonna get there, but hold on, let's see what Ahmad's saying. The way I see it, your passions should be aligned with your purpose. Your purpose is to reach your ideal scene, and your passions makes it how you arrive at your ideal scene. Does that resonate with you? And so when he's saying ideal scene, that's exactly what I had in mind, because when your ideal scene is when you have reached your purpose, is when you fulfill your purpose, is your ideal scene. That's how I see it. So my ideal scene is to leave a lasting impact in this world. So that's my purpose.
So does it mean that once you start creating that lasting impact in somebody's life, you meet them, you help them, your life stops?
No, because it never ends. So it's not just helping one person, it's leaving an impact like in the world. So you know, it keeps going. So for me, so what I'm saying is this: my purpose is to leave a legacy after I'm gone. So how could that ever stop for me? How could that purpose ever stop for me? So I don't know how you feel about that, but it's not one single instance in life, in my journey, and I'm sure everybody's different. But so I want to go back and revisit this, what Ahmad Shah says, because he also repeats it after. So he says, the way I see it is your passions should be aligned with your purpose. Your purpose is to reach your ideal scene, and your passions make it how you arrive at your ideal scene. So your passions, like we said before, they're like you also, I think we all said they should be aligned, right? So what does Jarek say? Let's read the comments. Jarek says, my main purpose is to live a fuller life of a human doing, and not just a human being. This is a soul that's into serving others. Can you tell?
Yes.
Yeah. We like you, Jarek. And where have
So
you been all this time?
it's funny. We've all, I think that all of us, including Ahmad, Shah, and Jarek, and then the three of us, I think that we're all sharing a very similar message, and we're coming at it from different angles with different words. Do you know what I mean? We're saying a very similar thing and
Yeah.
just using different words to say it. So I love that that this is very consistent. You're right. You're talking about your ideal scene, and for me, it's like goals and goal oriented. And in my mind, I think those are very similar.
Yes. What, Paula?
What I was going to say is that for me, I would use slightly different words, but I think it means the same thing, because my main purpose and passion in life, I've realized, is to add value to other people's lives. But it's not to add a value such that a value that's temporary, something that has impact forever.
Yeah.
So for me personally, by adding value to others, I actually add value to myself. So I think that's where the win-win situation is. And yeah, I don't know. For me, it's tied up to God, right? For me, it's because I believe in God. I say that that's everlasting. That will never. It's eternal.
Is your love for Argentinian tango everlasting too? Jarek says he just added learning Argentine tango to his bucket list.
Oh my gosh, Jarek, you are so funny. Thanks for coming. By the way, guys, I have invited Jarek. He's a very dear old friend of mine.
Oh, well, there you go. Ahmad Shah says, be, do, have goal, purpose, ideal scene, in that order.
Okay.
And I think he needs to do some explaining. Be, do, have goal, purpose, ideal scene. Okay, and this is merism, as we call it. so I'm going to ask him for a little bit of explanation, because it's not coming to me as fast as it would to him.
Let me share a say with you guys. Let me find it.
Tell us.
It's the Pablo Picasso quote.
Oh, I love this one. Yes.
The meaning of life is not to find your gift. Sorry. The meaning of life is to find your gift. The purpose of life is to give it away.
Okay, say it again.
The meaning of life is to find your gift. The purpose of life is to give it away.
I like that.
That resonates with me.
Yeah.
The purpose of your life is not about you. It's not to fulfill your desires. It's by giving to others, making other lives more valuable, making them understand who they are, in my case, or as I said earlier, with health, oriented to health, right? By giving that, by adding value to their life, I win, because I love doing that anyway. But but yeah, like, isn't it? For me, it resonates. The meaning of life is to find your gift. The purpose is to give it away.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead, Colleen, and then I'm going to give my third thing.
Okay. While we're waiting for Ahmad Shah to share with us the definition of.
Well, now he has to.
I know he has to, because now we're all sitting on the edge of our seat. But I wanted to share 3 questions that you can ask yourself to get closer and to define your purpose. Would that be okay?
Yes, of course.
Okay. So the first question would be, what are you good at? Right? So what comes naturally to you that you're good at? The second question would be is what do you like? What makes you happy? And then the third is how can you use those two things to make a difference in the world? And that's how you get to your purpose. And I know that it sounds really basic, but that's how simple it is what are you good at? What do you like? And how can you use those things to make a difference in this world, a positive change in this world?
I'm putting them in the comments.
Oh,
so,
perfect.
What are you good at? What do you like? And then the last one.
How do you take those two things and make a positive change in the world?
Oh, how do you use those things and make a positive impact?
Sure.
Oh, change? What did you say?
No, I like impact better. You had a better word.
Okay, perfect. So ask yourself, what do I like? No, what am I good at? What do I like? And how can I use those two to have a positive impact in the world?
Yes.
Excellent. Okay, that's to find your purpose. Now, remember what I said before about finding out your passions?
Yes.
So what, do you remember the first question?
The first question.
No.
No, I'm trying to.
You listen.
I'm drawing a blank.
Okay. First question to ask would be, what would I be doing more of?
Yes. Sorry. Yes.
If time was no object. Okay.
Yes.
The second question was, what could I be doing for 365 days if I didn't have to get paid, even if I didn't get paid for it? The third question would be, what would I be okay learning about without getting tired ever?
Okay, you need to put those in the chat too, please.
That's long and
Since we are waiting.
Okay, so repeat them 1, 2, and 3 one more time.
One more time?
Yeah.
Okay. What would you do more of if time was no object? What could you be doing for the next 365 days for free, like not get paid? And number 3 would be, what could you learn about every day without getting tired? And so that's that. But you guys, okay, we have 2 people that we know that offer the passion test.
Yes.
And we need to do a shout out because that's an excellent tool to use if you want to know what your passions are in life. And so if I remember correctly, the passion test was designed and then facilitated by I want to say Janet Atwood. And if that's not correct, amateur, please correct me. And so because of the fact that she found out that there are lots of people who are not living with their passions, so she wanted to help people find what those passions were. And Ahmed Shah took that passion test and realized that oh, he's back. He had to leave. So Ahmed Shah took that test. Then it helped him so much in his own life that he decided that now, Janet Bray Atwood, thank you, that he decided that he wanted to help other people find their passions. So he became trained facilitator in the passion test, and now he offers them every once in a while. And the next date he's offering it is in December. Please write down the date for us, Ahmed Shah. And also, Colleen, we have our friend also, Lisa
Anna Palmer. We grew up together, so we've known each other for a long time. And I recently, I learned that she also teaches does the passion test program with people, and she's been doing it for quite a few years. So but Dela, I would, just so that people understand a little bit about the passion test specifically, would you be able to share how, because we did it all together. I think Paula, you were there that day too.
Yes.
Dela, it had a huge impact on your life. So would you be willing to share that story with us?
Yes, of course. So definitely. And Ahmad Shah said January 17th is when he's going to offer his. Now, it was really excellent for me because what it allowed me to do was that now I had a list of my top 5 passions in life, and I knew that I needed to stick to them. So every decision I made was aligned with one of my passions. So it helped me so much. And thanks to Ahmad Shah, because he directed me that way. He guided me. And it was so easy to make decisions because all I had to do was I'm put in this position. I have to say yes or no. Does this align with one of my top 5 passions? And if it doesn't, the answer is no. And you know how I say no?
How do you say no?
At this time, my answer is no because it doesn't align with my passions.
I love that. You know what? That story, I love it every single time because it gets me so excited because I know I see you living your passion. So it gets me excited every single time.
Well, thank you so much. And I think it's so important for every single person to be able to pinpoint and say, what are your passions? That. These are my top 5 passions in life. Like it's so cool to know that. For me, it was really great to know that. And so that's why I talk about it all the time. We deserve to know our passions. We deserve to have a purpose. We need to have a purpose. Without passions, without living a passionate life, we can't really enjoy our journey to get us to our purpose. And without having a purpose, we cannot aimlessly live, even with passions.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. I think we came back full circuit.
Yes.
Full circle. For circle. And so, what do we have here? Hammy just joined us. He says, I have passion for peace. Nice.
Yes.
And Jarek says, passion for fashion.
I love when I used to work in the corporate world, oh my gosh, fashion was a big part of my day.
Paula, I think she's passionate about fashion.
Yes, Paula always looks perfect.
Oh, thank you. Okay. Thank you. I don't think I look perfect always, but I think it's just in me. I blame it on the fact that I'm European.
Yeah.
We have this sense, we have this sense. Yeah.
Yes.
But sometimes your passion does not align with your purpose. And let me give you an example. Let's say I love to sing and you do not love when I sing. Now, it's not the case. You see, I have an okay voice. I sing in the choir. It's okay. But that could easily happen. Sometimes you love doing something, but you're not really that good at it. You just love it. So making it your purpose might or might not work. Because imagine if I couldn't sing and I really wanted to sing and that was one of my passions and that was definitely, I would make it a life purpose. And then go out there like the AGM in USA and it would be like, stop.
Then you could answer Colleen's questions of what am I good at? What do I like? What am I good at? And how could I use those two to impact the world in a positive way?
But here is the thing, because you just said that, the thought came to mind. Okay, and what if I believe I'm a good singer?
Well, you've watched American Idol before, right?
What's that?
Hey, if you believe it, you are.
But that's what karaoke is for. Karaoke is for the people that maybe love to sing. They don't have to be awesome at it, and we cheer them on regardless.
And okay, so we're out of time, ladies. We
Oh,
gotta cut. Yeah, we gotta cut this. But I want to go back to the comments and see if there's any leftover comments. We still have. So we have three. Purpose can be determined by the 100th birthday anniversary speeches. Have you guys heard about that?
No.
no.
So very quickly, I will tell you. This is something Amateur taught, and so you write. You write as if it was your 100th birthday celebration, and you had a party, and there were three people giving speeches for you in your honor. One of them would be a family member, one of them would be a friend, and one of them would be a colleague of yours. And so you are supposed to write those three speeches. Isn't that interesting?
That is, I love that.
I did that actually. That was
Oh.
yes, that was
And
really
you're gonna have to tell me afterwards so I can write it down because
yeah. Okay, all right. Okay,
Now
and
Ahmed knows he's gonna call him tomorrow.
Eric says, thanks, ladies. Stay aligned with your passions. XOXO, and you too. Passion for dance. Eric, start taking those tango classes. Marianne, hello. She says hi, Dela and ladies. Okay, girls. Um, thank you so very much for this evening. It was awesome, as always, to be here with you. Thank you for your amazing insight, for clearing so much of this fog for me personally. Thank you so much for giving so generously. And for everyone who's been with us this evening, I want to thank you, every single one of you, for every single comment, every single input. You are so appreciated. Do you want to add anything, Paula or Colleen?
You've said it all. Thank you. Thank you very much. Today was actually, I think we've had the most comments.
Yes. And that's
It's appreciated. I had fun, so thank you. And
I agree 100% with both of you. Having more comments and interaction makes this 100 times better. So I hope that encourages other people that when they're watching, or even if you're watching the replay, throw your comments in there because we love to hear what you have to say about the topics that we're talking about. That's one of the main reasons why we want to do this. So thank you for participating and joining us. And yeah, we're very appreciative. I hope I say we because I know that you guys feel the same way.
Same. Thank you, Ahmed. He says that the anniversary speeches in his book. I'm going to share that with all of you. And thank you so much for your show. It's great and informative and entertaining. Thank you, Ahmed. Okay, girls. This is a wrap.
so this is the butterfly effect, bringing you love,
hope,
and compassion.
Thank you, everyone. Our next show is on the December 17th. Please join us then. See you very soon. Thank you. Bye, girls.
Bye.
Love you.
Bye.
Bye.